Hey there, welcome to day 1211 of What You Have to Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business, the business world of real businesses, like I like to call them to annoy my online friends, to the online world. And it's been a journey, been a really interesting journey. I have done a lot of different things offline and online and learned a lot of interesting lessons. Really learned some lessons traveling recently, and it gives me a lot of optimism and hope for the future of America for sure. I think that there's been a lot of misinformation strewn about what's really going on in America and Americans and how Americans think and feel, and I think it's really kind of pathetic that politicians and people in power are using things that they're making up against the American people. Things like racism, things like, you would think based on the news media and the politicians screaming and crying about racism all the time, that we were, on the verge of civil war here in the United States. And it's just not true. It's just all a political game for personal gain that makes my heart sad, but also optimistic in the fact that the vast majority of American people aren't buying into the bullshit. And I just swore on my video, and I try not to swear on my videos very much because it's unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, I've spent lots of time cursing and swearing throughout my life, but these days, the older I get, the less necessary I think it is to swear or curse or use, obscenities or foul language or be a gutter snipe, as my mother would call it, or my grandmother. They were always encouraged us not to swear. But, I think that over time, mores and values change and what's acceptable changes. Now, I don't think it's ever really acceptable to be dropping the Effenheimer right and left, but people do it, right? And so I think we've become desensitized to it. I think that we are becoming desensitized to the manipulation and the media lies that are all around us, and it's why I don't listen to it. It's why I don't participate. It's why I turn it off. But even in my life, it squeaks in and squeaks through. And so I can't imagine the impact that it's having on people that choose to consume it on a regular basis. I think that is a problem, and I think we're going to see the long-term effects of that, kind of like the long-term effects of our kids and grandkids wearing masks nonstop, our friends and neighbors working out at the health club with masks on. I've seen the impact it's had on my son going to the health club and wearing a mask for hours. It's detrimental to us to breathe our own carbon dioxide for an extended period of time. The people that are working in businesses now, I say this because masks are freeing up even in my area. My son-in-law went to Target yesterday and he said, hey, you don't have to wear a mask at Target anymore. So it's just kind of interesting, the things that have been going on. So to put all that aside, because I don't even want to talk about those things today, let's talk about small things that make us happy. That was the topic of our challenge, day 144, which is an angel number. I like angel numbers. I like numbers. I look for a lot of meaning in numbers. Numbers have played a huge role in my life. And so our topic today for Supersize Your Business was ballpark figures, which was kind of right up my alley. I spent a lot of my life crunching numbers, making estimates, creating budgets, then measuring results based on our estimates and budgets and ballpark figures that we created. But our challenge for not Supersize Your Business, for Do One Thing Every Day That Centers You, our All About You 365-Day Challenge, was about small things and the impact they have on our life. Small things that we've enjoyed, lived, loved, thought about, or did, or done. And we just share one thing like that in this challenge today. And I invited people, because I always forget to invite people, if you want to make sure that you see this challenge and participate in this challenge every day, or see the video every day of the small thing you too can do to center you, all you have to do is just join the Sharon Horne-Ellstrom page on Facebook, and they're there every day. The 143 previous ones and the ones every day for the rest of the year, because I'm going to do this particular video on that page for the rest of the year. Short of being banned from Facebook, of course, but I don't really plan on doing anything controversial or saying anything that ruffles anyone's feathers or gets anybody upset to get banned from Facebook, so I'm not even worried about that. So that was our fun annual challenge. Every year for this is my 4th year in a row, and before that I did challenges every year. I just didn't share them with the world. Just for the last 4 years, I've been sharing, well, 3.5, almost half years, I've been sharing my annual challenge. And I hop on and I do it, and I share what the challenge is, and then sometimes I do it right in the air. Like I didn't do today is like, let me look at this. Maybe I'll do it right now and then I've got it done. A small thing that I enjoyed, lived, loved, thought, or did. No, I guess I did kind of share that. I know for sure I'm going to enjoy my family and friends today because I'm going to see them. And I said, I may or may not enjoy the sun today because the sun might not come out. It's rainy here in Wisconsin. Seems like everywhere I've been and traveled lately, it's been really rainy. 4 out of 7 days everywhere we went was rainy. Not just a little bit of rainy, pouring rainy and storming and thunderstorms, which I always like a good thunderstorm, so I was cool with that. So happiness, what makes us happy? What are some small things that make us happy? We have to look for and appreciate the small things so we get more of them in our life. I love rocks, for example. Rocks. I always have rocks around me. And small things. Rocks, I like small rocks as much as I like big rocks. So I always have small things around me. I like cute little happy face stuffed animals and things. All of these stuffed animals got rid of when I moved a little over a year ago. I used to have a huge teddy bear collection. Love teddy bears. I had teddy bear figurines. I had teddy bears. I literally had hundreds and hundreds of teddy bears, teddy bear related things. And I allowed myself to keep some. Some of these are my nephew, who's in the Air Force, made that one. My son made this one. This one I got from my sister. My sister's still, even though I told them I'm not collecting teddy bears anymore, every year I still get the FAO Schwartz Christmas or Valentine's bear or whatever. They always make sure I get at least one a year. So, no matter what, bears come in and out of my life. Sometimes I keep them, sometimes I give them to my granddaughters, or sometimes I give them to friends. But all these above me have a special meaning to me, and maybe I'll share that someday. What the meaning and the why they're special. And of course, I have one teddy bear for my sudden cardiac arrest. He gets to still reside over by my bed, in my bedroom, so I let him be there. So supersize your business, ballpark figure, estimating things. How do we come up with numbers? How do we come up with an idea of the impact financial? Usually it's a financial number, or a number of people, or a number of things involved. Watched an episode of Hoarders with my daughter and my son-in-law yesterday, and they have a figure on there. It says 19 million Americans suffer from hoarders disorder, or whatever it is. And I'm like, well, how did they come up with 19 million Americans? They didn't count. They didn't go and check everybody's homes and lives and count out of 330 or so. Again, that's a ballpark figure. And they get it sort of from the census, but not really. Not sure how they calculate that number. So to me, the American population of 330 million, that's a ballpark figure. A lot of figures are just an estimate, or a best guess, or a quick guess, or an off-the-cuff number of the impact of what things have. And I asked the question, what is a ballpark figure of the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on your business so far? And again, I know people all across the board, some people that have been devastated by COVID-19, in terms of their industry and their business, and other people that have made literally millions and some even hundreds of millions of dollars, and their business has just exploded because of the pandemic, because of the impact of the COVID-19 virus and the way it's been handled. So those are a couple things I'm working on. Again, I'm continually working on challenges. Get Up and Go is a little bit paused because in mid-June, I am in charge of my granddaughters, both my granddaughters, because their parents are going to Alaska for a little vacation. So I get to hang out with two amazing little women, and I'm super excited about that. But I know that it is going to put a huge slowdown on my online and offline activities. So I've already planned for that and moved things around, changed my schedule, figured things out. So I only have to do a few things every day to keep things going, clicking along. That's why we have systems and processes and procedures and team members and automatic things that happen, so that when we get the opportunity to hang out with our favorite little humans for a couple weeks, actually just 12 days at a time, but I'm sure the parents are going to be exhausted on either end of that. I can say yes. And I want to set my life up so that I can say yes to the things I want to do. And no thank you, pass, not even remotely interested. Because guess what? There's way too many things in the world for us to be interested in everything. It's why it's so important that with our businesses and our lives, we realize that everybody isn't interested in your super deluxe product or service. Everybody doesn't want a green smiley face squishy ball. Everybody doesn't want or need a soap framework to make their life better. Everybody doesn't need a magnifying glass. You know, some of us, I've got a magnifying glass in every room and most every corner that I might possibly need a magnifying glass. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet I have 2 in the drawer. 5, 6. I have 6 magnifying glasses right around me now to make sure that wherever I am, I can grab a magnifying glass with respect to doing my videos and creating my content. So that's all I've got today. I am working on some projects, but again, kind of keeping them on the down low till people give me permission to talk about them. But I'm really excited about them. They're different projects, different way of approaching business and than I have personally participated in. Been a part of one side of this type of industry, but never actually personally been involved in it. So we are going to flip the switch and we are jumping over to the, hey, we're actually being the ones that drive this type of business and doing it, not just being the ones that are a part of the end game or the end process of it. So I'm super excited about that. All right, if I can help you in any way, if you have a question that you're not getting an answer to, either in the offline world or the online world, a whole lot of industries, I think 27 different industries I've been involved in personally, either owning a business or partnering up with somebody and having a business in them. So seen a lot, done a lot, messed up a lot, had a lot of successes, and sometimes we just need somebody to ask. We need to say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. This is what I've done. This is where I'm at. What is my next step? Because we always need to keep moving forward, and we keep moving forward by simply taking the next step. Not all the steps, just the next one. So I'm here to help if you need it. Otherwise, go out and have an awesome day. It's Monday. I love Mondays. Mondays are my favorite day of the week. I say they're awesome Mondays. I used to do a video every day when I first started doing videos where I'd go out on Monday morning and I'd say, I feel awesome, and I'd scream it out in my neighborhood. And when I lived out in the country, I could do that no problem. My neighbors were usually at work, or once in a while they would just look at me and wave and smile, and I'm sure they'd, as they're driving out their driveway, would crack up laughing. But I lived out in an area where I didn't mind screaming in my neighborhood. Well, I live in town right now, and if I screamed in my neighborhood, I have a feeling that the police would show up or the people with the white jackets would show up and haul me off. So I just did it for a while to remind myself that we're in charge of, and I too am in charge of, how I feel about everything all the time. So if I'm in a bad mood, it's not anyone else's fault. It's me. I'm choosing to be in a bad mood. If I'm in a good mood, it's nobody else's credit. I am choosing to be in a good mood. I can be in a good mood and a bad mood whenever I want, no matter what's going on around me. The world can be insane and blowing up and crazy, and I can still be smiling because I am focusing on the things that matter to me and that I can affect and impact. All right, have an awesome day. See you tomorrow. Bye. Sharon out.